ध्यायामो धवलावगुण्ठनवदीं तेजोमयीं नैष्ठिकीं स्निग्धापाङ्गविलोकिनीं भगवतीं मन्दस्मितश्रीमुखीं वात्सल्यामृतवर्षिणीं सुमधुरं सङ्कीर्तनालापिनीं श्यामाङ्गीं मधुसिक्तसूक्तिम् अमृतानन्दात्मिकामीश्वरीम्. Namah Shivaya. Today's topic is the message of Ramayana. Ramayana, as we all know, is considered as a scripture or Dharmagrantha for the layman, because all the injunctions, theories, philosophical ideas of the Vedas can be found in Ramayana. Actually, we all know Vedas are the fundamental scriptures of Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma. But Sanatana Dharma propagates or influences the layman through works like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavata, etc. So here we will see how Ramayana gives a message to the Hindus, to the people following Sanatana Dharma. There is a famous verse chanted before Ramayana is ritually chanted as an upakrama or a mangala sloka. That verse goes like this: Valmigir Munisinghasya Kavida Vanacharinaha Shrinvan Ramakathanadam Ko Nayadi Param Gatim. Actually, this is a tribute to Ramayana as well as the author of Ramayana, Valmiki. The very simple meaning of this verse is the roar of the lion, that is Valmiki, who roams in the forest, that is Ramayana, on hearing will give the final state, the highest state to the listeners. That means if we consider Ramayana as a forest and Valmiki as the lion ruling in that forest, on hearing the roar of this lion, everybody reaches the ultimate state, Param Gatim. This means Ramayana, if listened, studied carefully with faith, with concentration, with samarpana, surrender, it itself will lead us to the ultimate goal of human life, Param Gatim. There is a verse in Bhagavad Gita, you might have heard that sloka, which is of Bhagavan Krishna. Anega janma samsiddhas tato yadi param gatim. This verse comes in the 6th chapter where the yoga of meditation is discussed. So there this word param gatim comes because it denotes the highest attainment of human birth, that is liberation, salvation, moksha. The same is mentioned, the same word comes in this sloka also. On hearing Ramayana, anybody can reach this Param Gatim. So this underlines the importance of Ramayana, the lessons that Ramayana imparts us, the message that Ramayana gives us. Actually, the message that Ramayana gives us will lead us to the ultimate goal of human life. This is the first thing that we have to understand. The other verse in Ramayana is Veda Vedye Pare Pumse Jatiye Dasharathatmaje Veda Pracheda Sadasit Sakshat Ramayanatmana, which means when the Supreme Lord Parampurusha, to be known through Vedas, took birth, incarnated as Dasharatha's son, Vedas themselves took birth, incarnated as Ramayana through Valmiki. So this gives the hint that Ramayana contains the message of Vedas. So if we understand the message of Ramayana, the teachings of the Ramayana, it is almost equivalent to learn or understand the teachings of Vedas itself. So briefly we can say that the message of Ramayana is the message of Vedas itself. So what is the message of Ramayana? It is simply the message of Dharma, because there is a famous statement in Ramayana, Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha. This utterance comes from the mouth of Marija, who was actually on the side of Ravana, but who knew the greatness of Rama from direct experience. Because Rama went to protect Vishwamitra's yajna, and at that time Marija attacks and Rama fights with him, and he has experienced the greatness of Rama. After this incident, he always thinks about Rama, the glories of Rama, and he has understood that Rama is the embodiment of Dharma, Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma. And as we know, Ramayana is the story of Rama. Ramasya Ayanam Ramayana. So the story of Rama, who is the Vigraha or embodiment of Dharma, will naturally become the explanation or description of Dharma. So if we understand the actions of Rama, the ideals of Rama, the conduct of Rama, then we can understand Dharma. But by merely understanding is not enough. So the message of Ramayana is follow the path of Rama. There is a famous Acharya in poetics, in Sanskrit poetics, called Mamadacharya. He has given the essence of Ramayana as Ramadivad Vartitavyam, Nadu Ravanadivad, which means one has to conduct himself or herself as Rama conducted himself, as Rama lived in this world. And one should not live like Ravana. Ramadivad Vartitavyam, Nadu Ravanadivad. So this is the message that Ramayana conveys. Knowing Dharma through Ramayana, through the actions of Rama, and following the path of Rama. If we take this message from Ramayana, our life will become enriched. It will reach the ultimate goal. Here the word used by the Acharya is Ramadivat. That means Rama and his men, his followers in Ramayana, how they conducted themselves in their lives. Rama's team, Rama's side, how they lived in this world. This we have to learn so that we can learn the essence of Dharma, the subtle ideas of Dharma. So, the message of Ramayana is the message of Dharma. And there are many aspects for Dharma, we know. First of all, there are dharmas for different stages in life. And when our roles in life changes, our Dharma also changes. When our stage in life changes, our Dharma also changes. Then when the place changes, Dharma changes. When time changes, Dharma changes. All this can be learned from Ramayana. I will just give you an example. When Rama was in forest, he knew about the departure of, or the demise of his father. Then he performs the Shraddha of his father in the forest. If he were in the palace, the offerings to the ancestors, the departed soul, would have been with rice, cooked rice. But since he was in the forest, he cannot afford to have cooked rice. So he uses a very raw material called pinyagam to give the offerings to his father, the departed soul. Pinyagam is oil cake. So when the place changes from the palace to the forest, even the ingredients to be used or the substances to be used in a great ritual like Shraddha changes. So I mentioned this example to drive the point that Dharma changes according to place, according to time, according to the role of a person, according to the stage in his life. So when Rama was to be coronated as the prince, he was asked to go to the forest to fulfill the words given by his father to his mother Kaikeyi. Actually, not his real mother, one of the wives of his father, Dasharatha. So there he can quit the kingdom because his primary duty was to fulfill the word given by his father. Then, when the stage changes, when he becomes the king, then he cannot quit his kingdom. When if his coronation was already occurred, had already been taken place, he couldn't have quit his kingdom. Then it will become against dharma. So before that, he wanted to fulfill his father's word, and he immediately went to the forest. There, the dharma was to fulfill his father's word. Then when Bharata comes and persuades him lovingly with affection, he becomes ready to take back the kingdom, but only after fulfilling the word given by his father to his mother Kaikeyi, that is 14 years exile in the forest. Then he comes back and takes the kingdom which was offered to him by Bharata. That is also following dharma. In this way, Rama demonstrates what to be followed in different contexts, and there are controversies also, we cannot forget them. For example, killing of Bali by shooting an arrow from behind. Was it dharma? This question is always there. So then the question of Samanya dharma and Vishesha dharma comes into play. At times we will have to keep aside a Samanya dharma and give priority to the Vishesha dharma, which is a special dharma for that occasion. So the killing of Bali by shooting arrow from behind can be justified. You have to take all the situation, total situation, and we have to discuss all these things. And then there are many such very subtle points of dharma discussed in Ramayana during the course of the whole story. So dharma can be learned and practiced if we diligently follow Ramayana, study Ramayana. So the first message of Ramayana is understanding dharma and following it. Then there are many other messages which we can apply in our day-to-day life and achieve a lot in our lives. For example, one of the main messages of Ramayana is that of Paurusha, that is success of human endeavor, human action. Rama himself has demonstrated this, that by Paurusha, by effort, the goal can be achieved. There is a famous Subhashita in Sanskrit which condenses this message. The Subhashita goes like this: Vijedavya Charana Taraniya Jalanidhi Vibaksha Paulastyaha Yudhi Sahayascha Kabayaha Tathapyego Ramaha Sagalam Avadhi Rakshasakulam Kriya Siddhi Satve Bhavadi Mahadam Nobakarane. The meaning of the Subhashita is Rama's enemy, Rama had to conquer Lanka, Vijedavya Lanka, Charana Taraniya Jalanidhi. He has to cross the ocean by foot. Vibaksha Paulastyaha. The opponent is Paulastya, that is Ravana, who belongs to the clan of Pulastya Rishi, who was one of the Sapta Rishis. Vibaksha Paulastyaha, Yudhi Sahayascha Kabayaha. And in the battle, he had the help of monkeys only. Tathapyego Ramaha Sagalam Avatid Rakshasakulam. Still, Rama eradicated that demon clan and won over them. Kriya Siddhi Satve Bhavati Mahadam Nobakarane. Success or result of action or accomplishment resides in the will of great men, not in the instruments, not in the supports that they get. Here Rama had the support of monkeys, which is very mean in comparison with the army of Lanka or even the army of Ayodhya. But with this mean help, with this little help which can be given by monkeys, they fought with their nails and teeth, with rocks and trees, while the opponents, the demon army, fought with divine weapons like Indrastra, Brahmastra, Agneyastra, Nagastra, etc. But with these resources, Rama accomplished the mission because of his willpower. His opponent was Ravana, who was a great personality, minus dharma. He had all the talents, all the divine siddhis, all the scholarships, pandityam. And he was born in a noble clan, that of Pulastya. And his fort was protected by ocean. Lanka was surrounded by ocean. But all these obstacles didn't obstruct Rama from accomplishing his mission. Why? Because of his effort, Paurusha. In Tulsidasa's Ramayana, there is a beautiful saying. When Rama was praying to the Lord of Ocean, Varuna, to please, to appease him and get the sanction to make a bridge across the ocean, his brother Lakshmana says, Deva Deva Alasi Pukara. He says, depending on fate, depending on providence, depending on external blessings, are the style of lazy people. The brave people, the enthusiastic people, industrious people should put effort and conquer everything. So this message of putting effort and conquering and reaching heights is underlined in Ramayana through the life of Rama. It doesn't mean that we have to ignore all the other elements that controls our success. It is not that. Rama worships Lord Shiva, Rama worships Varuna, Rama worships all divine beings, but he puts his effort fully and accomplishes the mission. So this message of putting effort and accomplishing is there in Ramayana. Then there are many other messages which points out to the harmony of creation. Our Amma says, we are not separate islands. We are all rings connected together in a chain. We are all rings of a chain which are connected to each other. This connectivity of the whole creation can be found in the story of Ramayana. I am reminded of another Subhashita, a simple Subhashita. The Subhashita says, Yandi Nyaya Pravartasya Tidyanjopi Sahayada Avanthanandu Gachandam Sodaropi Vimunjati. The meaning of the Subhashita is, even animals comes to the help of a person who follows the path of dharma. Even one's own brother forsakes him if one treads the path of adharma. This is also a message of Ramayana. When Rama followed the path of dharma, he was assisted by even monkeys, even birds, even so-called insentient things like rocks. They floated on the ocean, it is said. So all the nature comes to the help of a person who follows the path of dharma, because everything is interconnected, as Amma says. And when one follows the path of adharma, avanthanam dugachandam sodaropi vimunjati. Even the brother forsakes him. Vibhishana renounced Ravana's side and joined Rama's side, Ravana's enemy's side. So it means that if we are deviating from the path of dharma, even our close relatives, intimate friends will leave us. Even the help that are rightly due for us, that also will be lost. So this message of the universal oneness, the interrelation between the different components of the world, of nature, can be found in Ramayana. Then there is another message, the message of hope. We can see that Sita, when abducted by Ravana and kept in Ashokavana in this Lanka, she never lost hope. She was always hopeful that Rama will come and rescue her. But when the test, when the trial and tribulation was so intense, she for a moment thought of committing suicide, taking her own life. But at that instant, Hanuman comes and gives the message of hope that I am sent by your beloved Rama, and he will come soon and rescue you. So this type of a message of hope is found, can be found everywhere in Ramayana. So never lose hope, always aspire for prosperity, for success. This message also can be found in Ramayana. In this way, Ramayana gives us a lots of noble ideas, and the essence is dharma. And by following Ramayana, studying Ramayana, our whole life will become prosperous. There is a Mangala Sloka which is recited before the study of Tulsidasa's Ramayana. It is in Hindi. This introductory rituals are there when we start the Parayana or recitation of Ramayana. So in Hindi, when the recitation of Tulsidasa's Ramayana starts, these types of preliminaries are done. Chanting of some verses. There is a verse which is chanted before Tulsidasa's Ramayana is chanted. And many verses are there. One of the verses is like this. Ramayana so नेह किए सिद्ध होत सब काम हे सबको कल्याण दा पढ़ी सुनी लहु विश्राम. If we love Ramayana, all our wishes will be fulfilled. Ramayana so नेह किए सिद्ध होत सब काम हे सबको कल्याण दा. It bestows prosperity, it bestows auspiciousness to all. Padi suni lahu visram. Hearing and studying will make our minds peaceful. So, to attain peace, prosperity, and all to fulfill all our wishes, we can resort to the study of Ramayana and to the imbibing the values of Ramayana, putting the values given in Ramayana practically in our life, following the path of Ramayana, which is given to us by none other than the great Lord Rama. So following these teachings, these messages contained in Ramayana, we all can make our life successful and we can attain to the ultimate goal of human life. Namaste.